Hey everybody, Matt Hartman here again for Drunkard's Walk. Thanks so much for listening again this week, and a big thank you to Jesse L.E. for our theme music and Nick Jaramillo for our artwork. Listen, this is part 2 of a 2-part episode, so if you missed part 1, go on back and take a listen to that so you have a better idea of what's going on. The wives did their walk last week, Jethro and I do ours this week. We'll see who gets there faster. If you're enjoying what you're listening to, why not give us a rating or review on iTunes? That really helps us out. Also, check out our link tree at linktr.ee/drunkardswalk. You can get links there to all of the stuff that we have, like topic suggestion forms for destinations, and you can send us emails, and you could join our Patreon or buy some merch, whatever it is you like to do. Listen, this is our last episode of 2023, so Happy New Year, everybody. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Drunkard's Walk, the podcast, not any other kind of Drunkard's Walk. No. This is Drunkard's Walk, the podcast, the one that you've listened to before, maybe. Perhaps you even listened to last week's episode. This is part 2 of the two-parter for season 9. So if you haven't listened to last week's episode, stop right now, go back and listen to that episode. That would be, episode 10. Okay, because this is episode 11. And if you listen to this without that context, boy, are you ever going to be confused. You're not going to understand why Jethro is talking with a Spanish accent. You're not going to understand why there are music breaks throughout where we do dance numbers that you can't see. And you are definitely not going to understand the goat. So go back, listen to that episode. If you've already listened to it, great. Let's carry on and let's get Jethro in here. He's my co-host, folks. I'm Matt Hartman. He's Jethro Nolan. We're the hosts of Drunkard's Walk. Jethro, how's it going, buddy?
Hello, it is I, Jethro Nolan from Barcelona.
There it is.
It's a pleasure to be here.
It's good. I'm glad that it's such a pleasure to be here. And boy, that was a very dramatic blow to the head that you took at the beginning of last week's episode.
The wound, she is still bleeding.
Yeah.
Fortunately, while I recovered, I watched Yellowbeard with Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong, and their performances influenced me so much that I have obtained their accent.
Is that what this is? Okay. Yeah, no, it's spot
Oh,
on.
no, I just got hit on the head again, and I'm talking normal again.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, welcome back to your voice.
Thank you.
You've been here all along. I'm not going to call it a comeback, LL. Jethro, this is exciting. We are here, and you know what? Gosh, Jethro, I can't even believe we didn't talk about this last week. It was
the fact that it was our Christmas episode.
Yeah, it was our Christmas episode. We didn't even mention it once. So we're gonna have to celebrate now. We're gonna have to do it. We're gonna do it now. It's the day after Christmas.
This is our Boxing Day episode.
It's the Boxing Day episode. That's right. How was Christmas for you, buddy?
It was great. It was lovely.
Yeah.
I spent it with my wife and my daughter and my dogs, and had a nice low key, unwrapped a few gifts, but that's not what it's about. We just basked in each other's warm, loving company, and that was a delight.
That sounds like a delight. I always, when people ask me what I got for Christmas, I always say a lot of time with my family.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got.
It's really the best gift.
And then they're like, no, but what did you get? And I'm like, PlayStation, and I got a bunch of things to do. I didn't get a PlayStation, but did you ever get a video game system for a Christmas gift?
We got like an Atari 2600.
Did you?
To give you an idea of how old I am.
For a Christmas gift? Was that like incredibly exciting for you?
Yeah, it was very cool. It was very neat. It was like a big breakthrough thing, and it was like to all 3 boys, so it was for all of us.
Okay,
but yeah, it was a very fun, exciting thing. And again, like also as I get older, like I'm a really bad gift giver and gift getter. Like I'm at that point in my life, and maybe it's just me and how my relationships are, where like we make lists for other people. Mm-hmm. And then they buy off those lists.
Right. Yeah.
And also I'm a grown up with money. So if I want something, I just buy it. I don't wait. And so but also I hate the idea of like, oh, I'm just going to guess and buy some random thing and hope that you like it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know my attenuation to other people's tastes is terrible. So then I'm in a position where I spent a lot of money and got them something they don't really care for. which
Yeah,
is
that's
the
not.
worst.
I mean, that's not always true. You got me a bottle of that Heaven Hill bourbon. That was I
Yeah,
loved
but
that.
like, I mean,
It was
like,
well done.
so that's why alcoholics are easy to shop for, because
Oh, true. Yeah, there you go.
and I say that, meaning more myself than you, but like it's even the worst bottle of bourbon that I've ever got, I
Mhm.
still drank the whole thing. So
Yeah. No,
but
that's a good
there's
point.
no bourbon equivalent for like books or purses or
Yeah.
makeup or whatever. Like there's, you know, people have their particular tastes, and if I'm not finely tuned to the nuances of the domain that they enjoy, then it's going to be more challenging for me. And I ended up buying them worse gifts. So it's all a trap, and that's why I guess buying experiences is a more successful way to go. Like that's something I've been going to more lately, is buying like concert tickets or tickets
Mm,
to a comedy show. Like
right.
I got Christy, I think, tickets to Michelle Wolf for her
Okay.
birthday, and we just went and saw her in late October,
Mhm.
and God, was that fun! That was a great time, and also
Oh,
that it gives you something to look forward to. So that's my
yeah.
big plug for this year, is buy experiences.
Yeah, it's a good plug. People celebrated, yesterday. So, or if they're listening to this, maybe for next year, for
I'm talking
2024.
about your Martin Luther King Jr. Day presents
Oh,
that you're
sure,
going to
sure,
buy.
sure. Yeah, that's a good idea. No, or birthday, or just carry this advice forward. I agree. Experiences are a great one. I do occasionally try to, pick something that the person might like that I'm not sure if they want, that's not on their list. And sometimes it's a hit, and sometimes it isn't. But I also get them stuff that's on the list. So, kind of like, if I'm batting at least 500, I feel like we're going to be okay. I do understand that what you're talking about, though, of being somebody that has money, that if you want something, you can buy something, which is like way privileged. I get, but it does make like, well, what do I ask for a gift then? So I've just started asking for things that I would like to have but wouldn't want to spend my own money on, like toys, like
Yeah.
I have sitting behind me here, there's a replica of a Star Trek communicator that
Mhm.
they just released into Target this year, and I was like, oh cool, that'd be neat to have. I don't want to buy that. That's a ridiculous way to spend money, but as a
Mhm.
gift, that's a fantastic thing to get. So that's something that I got for one of my gifts. I got a controller for the Nintendo Switch that is like the old, remember the NES Advantage? Do you remember that?
Not really, but
So it was like a larger controller with an actual joystick on it. So it was more like an arcade controller with two
okay.
buttons next to it.
Okay.
And so that's what this is. It essentially replicates that old, except it's got all the buttons. So it's got like an A button, a B button, an X button, a Y button. Like it's got the trigger buttons, but they're all just
Yeah.
like, it looks like an arcade controller where there's a joystick and buttons next to it. And so
Mhm.
it makes playing like those old arcade games, which I really like Donkey Kong and Pac-Man and things like that, like it actually feels like you're doing that instead of with the little gamepad where it always feels like, it's fine. But I
Yeah.
like that arcade sensation, that arcade feel. So that's one of the things, I was like, yeah, I don't want to buy this, but if I got it as a gift, so
There you
that's the
go.
stuff that I usually wind up asking for and putting on my list that then other people buy off of.
Very
Well,
cool.
this has been great talking about all this amazing privilege that we have in our lives and these wonderful things that we get. But one of the things that we didn't get for Christmas was to go on a walk together, Jethro. We didn't get to do that because our wives did it instead.
What an immaculate segue that was.
Thank you. And I have to tell you, of all, the only thing I wanted for Christmas was you, and
Well, that's
you know,
awfully romantic.
yeah.
Thank you,
I
Matt.
didn't mean it that way. It wasn't supposed to be romantic. It was just supposed to be.
No, I mean, let's face it. Christmas is the most sexual of all the holidays.
Is it?
It is. Oh, absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah. There's mistletoe. There's snuggling up by a fire.
Okay.
I mean, Santa coming down your chimney. You know what I mean? Come on.
I feel like you're forgetting about Arbor Day.
Oh yeah. Well, Arbor Day is pretty horny.
That is one.
Sexy
holiday
it's a fair
right
it's
there.
a fair point. Fair point,
Yeah,
Matt.
thank you. Okay.
But the good news is we get to do it now.
We do
Here
a
we are.
Boxing Day extravaganza, so we can take and return all of the things that the wives did, and hopefully do them better. I don't know what they did. I haven't heard it yet. Listeners, you have, so you know what's potentially ahead of us. Hopefully, we find a quicker path than they did. I don't even know how
I-
many it took them. But we'll bring them on. Let's bring them on at the end,
I
and we'll
love it.
do a little debrief, and we'll compare and see how we did.
Yeah, I will say that the attentive listener may have heard an accusation in the last episode in which Christy accused me of cheating, in which all I was doing was letting our dog in to the office where the recording was happening because he was being a real pest and he wanted to be with Mama.
Mhm.
So I did open the door to let Ozzy into the office, but I heard nothing.
Mhm.
So I don't have any clue as to the route that they took.
Well, yeah, and Emma accused me of cheating when I brought her drink, or actually came down to get the ingredients to make her drink and then bring it back. And she was like, shh, Christy, shh, 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 shh. Well, Emma was wearing headphones at the time, so I couldn't hear anything Christy was saying anyway.
Isn't it annoying when somebody accuses you of cheating and you're not cheating, Matt?
That's the worst, man. That's the
Isn't
worst.
it terrible?
If you're being accused when you're not doing it, it must be just absolutely horrendous.
Wow.
I don't know. You wouldn't really have experienced a lot of that.
You're really sticking to that, aren't you?
If you were, I told you it's all in jest. I told you it's all a funny.
Right.
But yeah. So we have a walk to go on. We are going to be going from Sledgehammer, the 80s cop comedy show, to Guido de Montefeltro. Yeah, de Montefeltro. And before we do, though, as we do with every episode. Oh, by the way, I should mention this suggestion came from Ken Moser. In case you didn't listen to the last episode, I don't know why you would skip it, but Ken gave us this suggestion. And it is a very literary suggestion. And we'll see how we do with that. But before we do, we have to figure out or make our guess as to how many steps, how many links it will take us to get there. So are you ready to do that, Jethro? Or have you already done that?
I've already done it.
We've already done it. All right. I'm gonna write it down myself here, and we'll see how we do. Are you having a drink this evening, Jethro?
I am. In fact, I'm pouring it as we speak.
Oh, okay.
When I was in Pittsburgh, I got a little 6-pack of Wiggle whiskeys.
Oh, you mentioned last week. Yeah.
And this week I'm having.
I say Wiggle.
Their Pennsylvania straight bourbon.
Oh,
cute
nice.
Little guy, and they've got snowflakes on the label. Although Pennsylvania straight bourbon is really not Christmas themed in any way, shape, or form. It's just they made a Christmassy label. So,
do you have the rye in there in that 6-pack?
I do.
So I have a bottle of the rye that was given to me as a gift, which I'm not a huge rye fan, but maybe next week we should. Yeah, there you go. You want to both have the rye next week? We'll do the same thing.
I'm down. Let's do it.
All right, you got to save that then. You got to save that for next week.
Well, we'll see. Maybe I'll be drinking one of Christie's White Claws. We'll never know.
Yeah, there you go. I am having a drink myself as well.
Are you?
I am. I'm having a bourbon. This is a bourbon I've never had before. It's just also a gift from my wife. I told you that she did the thing with the little bottles of bourbons. Last week I was explaining that, and I had a terrible one last week called Howlerhead. Mm-hmm. And fortunately, this is way better. This is called Pinhook bourbon.
Very nice.
And it has every one that they make has a name of a horse on it. It's named after a particular horse that's been in the Kentucky Derby.
Okay.
This one is named after a horse called Bourbon War. He was 16 hands. His color was bay, and he's a colt. So there you go. Now, I've not had Pinhook before, but from what I hear, it's a very good one. This is aged 8 years. And Jethro, I'm holding this up. You can see this is a regular size bottle. This is not a little bottle. And there's the very interesting story that goes along with that. I don't know if it's super interesting. But when we bring the wives back on, maybe I'll have my wife tell it because she's the one that went through it, and I don't exactly understand how I got this. But it was supposed to be a little bottle, and it grew up. It grew up to a nice big guy. So
fantastic.
It's good. It's good so far. I've had a sip or two. Let me take another one here. It's got a good. It's on the nose. It's very nice. It's got that smooth sort of that flavor. What's that flavor when you're drinking bourbon?
Bourbon flavor?
Yeah. It has like a bourbon flavor to it.
Oh,
all right, let's get into the walk, shall we?
Let's do it, baby.
So this is going to be a good one here. Sledgehammer. For those of you that have didn't listen a couple weeks ago when we got here, or perhaps didn't listen last week when the ladies were trying to leave here, it's an American satirical police sitcom produced by New World Television, and it ran for 2 seasons on ABC. So there you go.
So, Matt, I feel like there are 2 big possibilities for us. One is through Dante's Inferno, and the other one is through T.S. Eliot's The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock.
Oh, you don't think the Pope is a way in? Pope,
the Pope,
what's his name?
The Pope could get there, but there have been a lot of popes.
Hey, there's been a lot of popes. True
but
enough.
The thing about T.S. Eliot for me is that he wrote a series of poems that became the musical Cats.
Yeah, that's true.
And
that's true.
This is a page with a lot of actors on it. And wouldn't it be interesting if we could get to Cats and get to T.S. Eliot via Cats?
Interesting. Okay. I don't mind that. So I am seeing a lot of actors' names on here. I don't know that any of them are ones that I would associate with Cats, but I haven't gotten all the way through. These actors' names are notable guests who were on the show, and they are all sort of like 70s, 80s level. Like Davy Jones is on here. Bud Cort makes the list. Richard Mall, like Robin Leach. Holy cow. Adam Ant. I'm not seeing a ton of people that I would associate with something like Cats. Jackie Cooper is on here. Do you see anybody that strikes you as?
I mean, I'm not seeing anybody that jumps out to me. Bud Cort is here, who's from Harold and Maude.
Yeah, I mentioned Bud Cort. Yeah,
there's a lot.
Danny
it's
Elfman,
crazy because there's a ton of guest spots on the show.
There are quite a few.
Oh my God, Richard Mall, recently deceased of Night Court fame.
Just mentioned him already.
Yeah, I wasn't listening.
Armin Shimmerman is on here. You know who Armin Shimmerman is?
I've actually just hovered over him, and I know exactly why you're going to mention him.
He plays
there's
Quark.
A Star Trek connection.
Yeah, he plays Quark on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. So there you go. And Clint Howard, who was also on an original Star Trek episode. He was in the Corbomite maneuver. So Ray Walston is on here as well from My Favorite Martian. I'm certain that he was in a Star Trek: The Next Generation episode. I want to say Cadets or something. No, it's the one where. Well, anyway, he plays a groundskeeper at Starfleet Academy. I can't remember the name of the episode, but
yeah.
There you go. So, what do you think here? There are some other options as well. If we didn't feel like either of these took us straight into something like Cats, I do see Caricature linked on here. Now, Caricature is kind of like it's an art form, right? And it links to actually like there's a picture of a drawing, rendered image showing the features of its subject in a simplified or exaggerated way. I feel like caricature is a type of art that would have been around for centuries and might have its origins back, before or during the same time period that we are trying to get into, and we're trying to get to an artistic thing. So there's a possibility there. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that is true. That is definitely a possibility. Joe
Piscopo is on here as well, and I think you know why I'm going to bring this up, because he was in a season 2 episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation, on the holodeck as a comedian.
Was he? By any chance, is John Cleese mentioned here anywhere? I
haven't seen him.
The reason I bring it up is because when Christy and I, when I came back from Amsterdam and I had all my stuff in my parents' garage, Christy and I drove down from Chicago in like a Dodge Intrepid and loaded up the back seat and the trunk with my crap and drove back to Chicago. And on that trip, we listened to an audio tape of Dante Alighieri's The Inferno, read by John Cleese.
Okay. Do you think that would be on John Cleese's
I have no
Wikipedia
idea.
Page?
I have no idea.
I don't feel like it would be.
But
Maybe
I mention it because it's a weird fact.
that is a weird fact. I agree with you. Let's see. Facts of life. One day at the time. One day at a time. Get smart. Don Adams. Linked on here. HBO.
Mm-hmm.
Rodney Dangerfield. Laugh Track. Gosh, there are a lot of links on here. I do have to say. Old West.
There are, in fact. There are many.
Here. Satin Pillow. Oh, just satin and pillow. Why are these linked? What weird words just randomly have linked on this page? Earthquake is on here. Marvel Comics, X-Men, Spider-Man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't see anything that feels particularly linked to. I mean, one of these actors has to have been in something that was at least inspired by Dante's Inferno, right? I mean, am I wrong?
Or in some way gets us connected to T.S. Eliot.
Right. Yeah, T.S. Eliot. Yeah, aside from the Cats connection, I don't know T.S. Eliot in any other way. In fact, that's the only thing that I really know T.S. Eliot from. Did T.S. Eliot write? It was just poetry. Did he write plays or anything?
Well, I mean, he wrote the stuff that became. I mean, I think he was mostly known as a poet. The Wasteland was his big piece. But if we can get into like the postmodernists, like James Joyce, maybe Gertrude Stein, somebody, we can definitely get to T.S. Eliot. It's just so hard.
I mean, Danny Elfman, member of Oingo Boingo, correct? Is that Danny Elfman?
Correct.
Okay.
Married to Jenna Elfman of Dharma and Greg fame.
Oh, is that right? I did not realize that they were actually related. So my thought here is that Oingo Boingo was like really kind of like weird music, right? Like they did kind of like crazy sort of outside of the box type stuff for the most part. And I wonder if there's a connection there through to, these kind of crazier. I don't know. I feel like I'm. The more I spoke, the more I felt like I was getting further away from it. Clint Howard. I mean, Clint Howard's been in everything. Well, at least everything that Ron Howard did. I wonder if he's a path out of here. Gosh, there's just a lot of Peter Gabriel. I mean, Peter Gabriel. That doesn't feel as good. I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you think?
We've fooled around long enough.
Yeah, I agree.
So there is a link to Marvel Comics here.
Yeah.
So that's a possibility.
How would that help us?
I don't know. I'm grasping at straws here.
Okay.
If we can get to Andrew Lloyd Webber, we can get to Cats. Do we feel like any of these guest stars here?
Well, you know what there is a link to is People's Choice Award. Do they give People's Choice Awards to things like musicals?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, then never mind.
Yeah.
It felt like a thing.
It certainly could have been, possibly. I'm desperately going through all of the guest actors again to see if I recognize a face from anything that's.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you're going to find anything in there, man.
That's disappointing. I really would have liked to have found something.
Oh, John Vernon's in here.
Who's John Vernon?
He was the guy from Animal House. He was the dean.
Oh my God.
Dean Wormer.
Oh, that's right. What an incredibly recognizable face. Now, does that get us to anybody? Like the problem is there's no comedy connection to Dante Alighieri or Cats or T.S.
Let's
Eliot.
think about who was in the movie Cats, because they just did a movie, right? And like I remember.
Oh, that's right. So James Corden was in it.
Yeah, James Corden was in
it. Judi Dench was in it. Taylor Swift, I believe.
Right. Yes. Those are the three that I know
Elba
too.
Played McCavity.
Idris Elba was in it.
Yeah.
Interesting. So we have HBO on here, which would get us to The Wire, which would get us to Idris Elba, which would get us to.
Man, we're already like 8 links deep.
Yeah, I know. That's a lot. I'm not saying that's a way to go, but it is a path. I didn't realize Idris Elba was in that movie. Gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. Um,
Davy Jones. I mean, we want to get into music. That gets us. I mean, well, I guess so does the Danny Elfman and I've already forgotten the other person.
has there been like a biopic of T.S. Eliot,
Peter Gabriel?
or has somebody played him in a movie?
Not that I am aware of. No.
I'm trying to think. I'm thinking of like Shadowlands, but that was C.S. Lewis, not T.S. Eliot.
That's C.S. Lewis. Yeah. That's and that was Anthony Hopkins.
We got to remember to not ask Ken on again. He keeps coming up with these really hard things.
I know. Well, I mean, where we were coming out of wasn't a help for us as far as this is concerned.
There's a lot of actors here.
So do you really feel like I feel like we're getting hung up on the actor element of it? Maybe we should just go through something like caricature, get into art, get into literature, and start. Or maybe wait.
What?
Oh no!
What?
So comedy is linked.
What?
Comedy is linked, and so I thought, why not go through comedy to get to the divine comedy? But unfortunately, comedy takes us to television comedy.
Oh, fiddlesticks!
Yeah.
But it's still not a bad idea, like the Divine Comedy.
Yeah? You think?
Yeah. You want to do it? We like comedy. Where's comedy linked?
So? You think it's at the very top. It's right in the upper right-hand side genre under Sledge.
Genre, comedy.
Yeah? You want to do television comedy? It feels like a stretch.
Hey, listen, we haven't had a lot of strong
I feel like caricature. I feel like caricature might be a better path.
All right, let's go with
television comedy. All right,
let's go with caricature.
Let's do it. Let's see what happens. What's the worst thing?
A caricature is a rendered image showing the feature of its subjects in a simplified or exaggerated way through sketching, pencil strokes, or other artistic drawings, compared to cartoon.
Okay, so there's history here, and we go. Leonardo da Vinci is linked.
Aha!
So I feel like that's a promising thing, but unfortunately, it says the first book caricature drawing published in English, it was like 1762, so it's way late.
Yeah,
but Da Vinci is a better, I mean, Da Vinci even is later, right?
Absolutely.
But maybe that's the way to go.
Certainly possible. Oh, they have a link to Mort Drucker from Mad Magazine.
Oh,
which is fantastic.
Is he like the artist that did like the original like Alfred E. Newman and whatnot?
He did like movie satires and stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah. Gotcha. Boardwalk I see on here. Cartoon Museum. Yeah. Oh, satire.
Oh. There is a link. So there's a print advertisement for U.S. Savings Bond featuring a caricature of Groucho Marx.
Yes.
So Groucho Marx is linked there. So
yes.
I have a book of letters that Groucho Marx wrote. Mm-hmm. And he famously had a meeting with T.S. Eliot because they were each fans of the other. And Groucho like read up on T.S. Eliot, and T.S. Eliot was like, "Oh, I'm getting to meet Groucho Marx." So that might be a possibility.
Interesting. You think that would be on his page?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I also don't not know. And we don't have a lot of other strong ideas.
So Star Trek: The Next Generation is on here, and I think that we should just I mean, clearly we're being pulled in that direction. What about The Poet's Corner?
Oh, in Westminster Abbey?
No. This is a book of 20 caricatures by English caricaturist and essayist and parodist Max Beerbohm. It was published in 1904. But I wonder if this would have... Oh, Caricatures of 25 Gentlemen is also a book that was published by him. I'm just wondering if The Poet's Corner is going to have T.S. Eliot in it.
Where is... all right, so the problem is, if it was published in 1904... Mm-hmm. Then probably not. Oh, because T.S. Eliot was like
later than
active later than that.
Oh, okay.
I believe.
Okay. I have no idea. I don't know the timeline.
Now I will say this though.
Yeah.
depending on the scope of the poets involved, it could link to Dante. But I will say this, that at a minimum, it links to poets.
Right.
And other poets could get us to either Dante or T.S. Eliot. So
Yes.
even though I differ with your reasons for picking it, like, I think it's a strong contender.
Yeah, and because well, the other thing is too, the page might contain some sort of reference to T.S. Eliot or Dante, even if they're not in the book, right? Because it could have something to do with,
absolutely.
T.S. Eliot saw this book when he was
or
alive
at a
and loved
minimum,
it.
a link to something that could get us to one of those two guys. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's a really positive. I'm ready to go.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. The Poet's
Corner. Listed under Sir Max Beerbaum.
What a short page.
Oh my goodness. But you'll notice one of the links on this very short page is to Dante Alighieri.
It is. Look at that. Holy cow. That he was included amongst the 20.
Boy, are we lucky.
Oh my gosh, are we ever?
There's also a link to Poet's Corner and Westminster Abbey, after which it is named.
There you go.
But yeah, we are very fortunate. I would say Dante Alighieri is the way to go.
I mean, I don't see any reason to.
Do not click on Dante Gabriel Rossetti, who is a different Dante.
Yes, no, I would not. The one that is the link is just Dante, but it does indeed take us to Dante Alighieri.
It's funny. One of my English teachers in high school was like, Dante is one of the few people who's known by a single name that is their first name, because often we'll get people like Da Vinci or somebody like that who's known like as their last name. I feel like Michelangelo, maybe Dante, Madonna, Cher.
So really, there's a bunch, is what you're saying?
No, I don't think. I just listed 4.
Oh, okay. Well, you came up with them very quickly. It just seemed like
no, because I have this sense memory of this exact
Prince
thing. All right, so now here we go. So we've got a lot of possibilities that we can click on here, but I mean, it could very well be on this page.
It could be on this page. That's what I'm thinking.
Who are we looking for again, by the way?
It's Guido de Montefeltro.
Guido de Montefeltro.
Yeah, and I'm seeing other Guidos, so it's getting me excited for Guidos. A second. There are a lot of Guidos on this page. I'm seeing there's a politics. There's Pope Boniface VIII.
Oh, is there?
Yes, there is.
Oh, that's exciting. Do we feel like that's the way to go?
I'm more inclined to go there. If I don't see, I mean, Guido might still be on this page. I haven't gotten
absolutely
anywhere near the bottom, but
we shouldn't give up.
I like the Pope over going into the Inferno, because I feel like the Pope is going to be more likely associated with this story, right? But who knows? I mean, fascist government is on here. Giovanni Villani, right? Sure. There's a lot of Italian names on here.
Yeah, there's
a lot of popes.
So in Florence and politics, there's a link to the Battle of Campaldino, which was in 1289. Which is in, I believe, the year range that we were given for Guido de Montefeltro.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, I think the Pope is the way out, because he seemed to be so connected to the Pope, but I have not seen Guido himself listed on here. Now, obviously, there are links to the Divine Comedy. There's links to the Inferno. So, we could go through those as well. I am going to argue in favor of the Pope.
Pope Boniface VIII?
That is the Pope that he was talking about, right?
That is my recollection as well.
Yeah.
I guess my concern is that I don't know, was Pope Boniface VIII a short-serving or long-serving Pope? I don't know how. I mean, I guess that Guido de Montefeltro's relationship with the Pope had to be sufficiently noteworthy to have been included in the Divine Comedy,
right? By
Dante.
Yes.
But I still I'm just worried, Matt.
I just feel like because that's what. So here's my feeling on it. Here's my reasoning behind going to the Pope versus going to Inferno or going to Divine Comedy. First of all, I wouldn't go to Divine Comedy, I'd go to Inferno.
Yeah,
if I could. The reason I wouldn't go to Inferno over the Pope is that the Inferno page may not break it down in enough detail to include this person's name, whereas the Pope and his story is going to include this guy because he did the whole thing with pardoning him before he did anything, and like it just feels like there's a stronger connection between the Pope or a more definite Wikipedia type of thing with the Pope than with the book or the story or the poem or whatever we want to call it. That's my thought on it. What is your feeling?
I mean, I feel like that is a strong case. I feel like my only concern is if it's not there, then what? If it's not there, then I feel like we got to go right back to Divine Comedy.
Well, I guess that's true. If it's not there, we would have to go to Divine Comedy or Inferno, and I think that we probably still would be able to, since there is a connection here. Whereas if we are on the Inferno page and we have to get to the Pope, it might not be there. I don't know. I don't know. It's really a coin flip, I guess, is what it comes down to. So, what do you think?
All right, Pope Boniface VIII.
Yeah, that's where you want to go.
So, well, hold on here.
Yeah.
So so he reigned from 1290 because I'm doing the hover over thing, which is permitted.
Yep, permitted. For sure.
He served from 1294 to 1303, and
which means there's not even that much. It's only
Montefeltro
like
died in 1298, so there's only a 4-year overlap between the beginning of Pope Boniface's reign and the death of Count Guido de Montefeltro.
Okay. What's your? I'm not sure what your point is.
I feel like there's. I don't know if I don't know if I have a strong point.
Okay.
I just thought I'd point it out.
Well, good job on the math.
Thank you.
I do have to applaud you on that. Well done.
Hey, just for the listeners' note, like we're calling this next week, but Matt and I started drinking at the beginning of the last episode in real time, while our wives were desperately clicking Wikipedia links. We're sitting waiting for our turn, and we're drinking our whiskey. So
it's true. It does happen.
It's a long night, is all I'm saying.
It is. It is that.
All right,
come
so
on,
let's
go through the Pope and end the night here for you. There you go. Come on, Pope Boniface. I think the Pope is the way to go.
All right, let's do it. Pope Boniface VIII.
Pope Boniface VIII.
So many things. Hey, there's a link to Dante Alighieri in the Divine Comedy.
Well, that's good. At least we can get back to it if we need to.
There's a link to sodomy.
Okay.
King Philip IV pressured Pope Clement V of the Avignon papacy into staging a posthumous trial of Boniface. He was accused of heresy and sodomy, but no verdict against him was delivered.
Oh, but no verdict was delivered. I heard that in a song somewhere.
Verdict was delivered.
Looking for Guido's name, and I don't see it yet. This is a fairly long page, though. So
I'm scrolling down to after he was elected pope because Ken specifically mentioned that he was given absolution prematurely, not prematurely, like preventatively.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's going to be something that.
So there's a section that conflicts in Sicily and Italy, and it talks about Alighieri and the Inferno. Why doesn't it talk about this guy's not? Is this guy not going to be on here? This is disappointing.
Yeah, it is disappointing. Because now I'm getting into the first Scottish War of Independence.
I see the posthumous trial.
Do you now?
Yeah. Huh. Portrayed. Okay, so yeah, it's talking about how he was portrayed in the Inferno. Am I just missing this? Am I just glossing past this?
I mean, maybe I'm probably doing the same thing.
How is this not here?
There's an in culture section
Yeah.
in which it explicitly says in Inferno, Dante portrayed Pope Boniface VIII as destined for hell, where simony is punished. The act of selling church offices or roles or sacred coins.
Yeah. Isn't that exactly what? Oh no, I guess he wasn't selling. He just excused him or pardoned him or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I don't believe this. So this guy clearly not important enough to be included here. So he's even going to be on the Inferno page? Now becomes the question.
I mean, that's the best we got.
Well, yeah, I would agree with that. I'm sorry. I know I can't do a Control F, so I'm just running back through the page to make sure that I didn't miss it because it feels like it should be here. Guido. I'm also having a tough time like remembering his last name. I have to like glance over at my sheet every 3 seconds to make sure I'm looking at the right name. So I'm just looking for Guido, and there's very few Guidos on this page. I have to say that, far less than there were on the Dante page.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Inferno is the way to go.
Well, if he's not on here, I agree with you, but I was hoping he would.
I feel like we scrolled through the entire thing and couldn't find it.
I have. I went all the way back up too, and I still don't see it. Damn it!
Matt, forgive yourself.
Grumble. All right. I got to find the Inferno now again. Where was it? Oh, there it is.
In culture.
Oh, there it is. Oh, I'm looking under conflicts in Sicily and Italy, but there it is. I see it. Inferno. Okay, should we go to Inferno?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Here we go. Prelude to Hell, Vestibule of Hell, 9 Circles of Hell. I feel like we got to go down to the circle where he's in.
Yeah, which one did you say? 8th?
I didn't write that down.
I think he said 8th.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is, as I'm scrolling, there's a whole lot of particular people who are in various parts of hell that are listed.
Well, that's good.
All right, so first circle is Limbo, so he's not in that. Second circle, Lust.
Okay.
Third circle, Gluttony. I feel like fourth circle, Greed. Maybe is he there? I'm not seeing it.
No,
Fifth circle, Wrath.
It was a group of people. It was and I can't think of what it was.
Sixth circle, Heresy. All right, I feel like this is probably. Oh, there's Guido Cavalcanti, who's a different Guido.
No, that's not him.
Apparently, there are a lot of Guidos in hell.
There are.
That's not, by the way. There's literally men named Guido. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand. Well, and I mean, this is the fictional version of hell. Also, we don't know for sure.
There's only a fictional version of hell.
Oh wait, I think this is counselors, right? Didn't he say counselors?
Yeah,
I'm at counselors of fraud, and he's not here. Oh wait,
what? Ooh.
Yes, I found him. Oh,
what?
I found him.
Oh, where?
How? In Canto 27.
Good
so you gotta
Lord!
go all the way down. Dante is approached by Guido da Montefeltro.
Canto 27?
Yes, all the way down, baby.
There it is.
Yeah.
Head of the Ghibellines of Romagna asking for news of his country.
That's it. There he is.
There is a link to Pope Boniface VIII here, though.
Yeah, there sure is. There sure is.
Count Guido da Montefeltro.
There we go. We found him. Oh, and actually, it's Guido I da Montefeltro.
Well, in the title of the article it is, but the first thing in the article says Guido da Montefeltro.
Oh, I guess that's Guido the First, maybe, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know why that's listed that way, but it is there. And it is an incredibly short page. So,
so short.
As we've mentioned in the past, you only need one link to get out. But next week's going to be a challenge because it's a tiny little page.
It's a teeny tiny page.
Tiny little guy.
Matt, where does that leave us in terms of like the number of links it took us?
It took us 6. Jethro, it took us 6 to get there.
And what'd you guess there?
No, well, I feel like I've revealed first a number of times here, so I think it's your turn this time.
I feel like you never reveal first.
Which is what you say every time, and then I reveal. So now it's your turn to reveal first. What do you got?
I guessed 5. That's what I guessed.
5. You know what? I guessed 7 because I didn't have as much faith in us.
Wow.
I went back
So
and forth
I guess
between 6
I
and
win
7.
because I had more faith in us.
No, you don't win.
I feel like
buddy.
it's a Price is Right rule situation.
I'm afraid
where...
it's not. It never is. It's a tie, which means
Bum,
it carries
bum,
over
bum.
to next week. Much like we have. Yes, it's like the sad trombones is what it is. But that's all right. It took 6 ain't bad. 6 ain't bad. But it's curious to me how many it took our wives.
There's only one way to find out.
So yeah, let's get them back in here and let's have a little chat. All right, here we go. All right, welcome back, Emma and Christy.
Oh, what a week it's been.
Ugh.
Yeah, how was it for you? You know, we were remarking at the beginning of the episode, we forgot to even mention last week that it was Christmas. So here we are, the day after Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
It's Boxing
everyone.
Day.
It's
Happy
Boxing
Boxing
Day,
Day,
that's right.
everyone.
That's right. Yeah, we're
Happy boxing.
What's the term Boxing Day come from?
So, Boxing Day is a term that stems from the rich who would, so like Christmas days for like the wealthy and, you know, the royal and the nobility and blah, 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 blah. Their like staff would work Christmas Day because they would be serving them these really lavish meals and they'd be hosting parties and stuff.
Mhm.
So they would get the day after Christmas off. And the very generous rich folk would put all of the things that, like the extra food and maybe things that they got for Christmas, things that they just didn't want, into boxes and would give them to the servants and the butlers and all of their staff. And they would take them home and they would spend the day after Christmas at home with their families.
Unboxing Day.
Unboxing Day. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was the you know, I heard that people would actually do portraits of people unboxing their boxes from
Would they
the
do
ultimate
caricatures of them?
caricatures.
Yeah, would they do caricatures? I bring that up because that's the link that we took out of Sledgehammer was caricature.
So we
Oh.
looked at that link and laughed
Okay,
and moved
well,
on.
What did you take to get out?
We took heavy metal.
Oh, interesting.
What was the thing? What was
Interesting.
the thinking behind that?
I mean, the audience the listeners already know because they've. heard
I
the
know, but
episode,
I'm curious. I haven't heard.
Okay,
it.
okay.
I
Heavy metal and Satanism.
Yeah, I very broadly said that
Okay,
all
there you
people
go.
that listen to heavy metal are Satanists, which is not at all. I corrected myself in the moment.
But
It's
there's a
not
lot
at
of
all
Satan-
correct.
There's a lot of satanic imagery.
It's a big
Yeah.
overlap. Yeah.
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I thought it was a great idea.
Well, there you go.
Excellent. And how'd that work out for you? How many links did it take you ultimately?
How many
to-
links did you guys do?
I feel like.
We always say first.
That's
Shut up.
a fun callback, Matt.
Thanks.
It
Thanks.
took us 6 links to get from start to finish.
That's a good number.
That is a good number.
What was your number?
It's a really good number, you guys.
Yeah. I feel like Emma has a secret she wants to share.
She does.
Christy, why don't you give them our total?
I don't remember because you wrote down all the things.
No, I text you.
Oh goodness gracious!
I like how you patted
don't know where
Check
to
your
get your
boobs
button.
first.
You know it's not like on your boobs.
Check the boobs.
Sometimes I have a sweatshirt on and it has a pockets here. I was so excited.
You clearly won. So what was the number?
4.
Wow.
It was
What?
4.
No
It's
way.
amazing
It was
because you guys
full.
went 4 links and it took you an hour and a half.
Well, because
Yeah.
the rest of the episode was me talking about the books that I'm currently reading. So
Look, it's
God,
part
this
of
is
the
not
strategy.
TikTok.
no. Listen, because this is the strategy that I figured out for you guys to generate more listener.
Okay.
Other
Does that
than
mean
Christy and I.
Our one listener is going to gain weight, or that we
Yeah,
should get
exactly.
additional.
Well, it is the holiday season. So you know how like Taylor Swift really put Travis
Oh my
Kelce on the
good
map
God.
Oh yeah,
and really
absolutely.
made like the NFL like popular.
Oh yeah, but nobody,
Yeah.
nobody.
They
The
were
NFL was a
lagging.
struggling enterprise.
Yeah.
before
Yeah,
Taylor
yeah,
Swift
yeah,
came
yeah.
along.
So I figured that I would bring book talk into the world of Drunkard's Walk, and that way you get a really big boost in listening. You know, make sure you hashtag that book talk when you post the video. I really thought
nothing's
that
more
Video.
popular in America than
not
reading.
video, podcast.
What
Yeah.
is happening?
So
You're never
Christy
drinking
and
another
I, the
Moscow Mule
Taylor
while you do this.
Swift of Drunkard's
Look,
Walk.
you guys
Great.
Thank
thought
you,
it
you're
took us
welcome.
a long time. You got a little lax. You got a little comfy.
Yeah.
We didn't get comfy.
You know?
We could have been there in 5 had we not followed my advice, but
Which
we
still would have lost.
We still would have lost. So tell us, what were your links?
So we went from Sledgehammer to heavy metal,
Nice.
heavy metal to Satan,
Nice.
Satan to Inferno,
Nice.
Mhm.
Inferno to
Guido della Barfeltro.
Manafeltro.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, that's wonderful.
we were excited. We
Well,
couldn't believe we
excellently
did
done.
it. How did you guys do?
We took a slightly more scenic route.
We did. Only slightly, but yes.
We went from Sledgehammer to caricature to the Poet's Corner, the Poet's Corner to Dante Alighieri. And this is where Matt had the brilliant idea of, rather than clicking on Inferno, we would click on Pope Boniface VIII.
Yeah.
Who did not have a link to Guido de Montefeltro.
No.
So from there we went back to Inferno, which got us to
Because we thought the Pope might have that link. It didn't.
We
Actually,
thought that is a generous.
Actually, that's true. Neither of us thought that was true.
Yeah.
But I knew I had written 7, so I knew I had to get it a little bit higher, and so I needed to take a little bit more
did Matt
time.
win?
No,
So
we
got to
tied.
play the long game. We
Oh,
tied.
you guys
he gets
And had I
7,
not,
guess
he would have
5.
won. Had I
took
not, he
6.
would have won. So
Yeah.
I got to play the long game.
Yeah, Christy and I didn't do that because fun is the winner.
No, sure. Fun is always
but
the winner.
actually, no, fun is the winner when it's between Christy and I. Christy and I are the winners, and
Yeah.
we beat you,
That's
mother
right.
truckers.
Wow.
Hey,
Thank you. Thank you
I
for
feel
censoring
like
yourself, because
we
this is
never
a
really-
G-rated podcast.
rub it in when we win. But what I will say is we are now tied, right?
Is that true?
I'm pretty sure that you
the
and
season?
Christy have won twice. No,
Oh,
she and Christy have won twice, and you and I have won twice.
okay.
So
I
next
would think
season, next
One
season
more
is
than that, but-
Ooh.
yeah.
Ooh.
really.
Okay.
But
All right.
you're 2 in a row, so you're doing well. Before we go though, before we finish this delightful adventure, at the beginning of the episode I promised Emma that you would tell the story of this bourbon that I'm drinking, Pinhook, because something interesting happened that I wound up with a full bottle of Pinhook instead of just one of the little tiny bottles. Do you remember the story? Or
Oh, yeah. So I was looking everywhere for miniature bottles. Going to, fine wine and good spirits was not cutting it. I actually don't think I got any miniatures from there. I got him some like bigger bottles.
Mhm.
And I was trying to gather enough that we could do like a every day for the month running up, he could open something.
What an amazing wife you are, Emma.
right?
To get your husband a bottle of bourbon every day for the month running up to his birthday. That's just incredible.
It is.
So my end game is to just slowly but surely poison him to death so I can get his life insurance.
Wait, what the? You shouldn't have
Okay.
recorded that. That's not
What?
a
Okay.
good thing to have.
No.
in a
You can
recording.
edit it. You can edit it in post.
Yeah, no, we'll cut
Cut it
that.
out.
We'll cut
Yeah,
that. out.
yeah.
I don't-
Cut that part out.
I
I
don't do
love
that
my
kind of
husband and
work.
want to be with him forever.
Okay, I'll cut that part out.
Yeah, no. So Matt is a very good gift giver. And he's a very thoughtful gift giver, and oftentimes likes, in the past he has created really great stories with his gift giving to me. And so I feel like every once in a while I need to kind of, pull something good out of my
That's
ass.
not true. But what? But how did we get this big bottle?
Sorry, yeah, I'm
Pinhook.
getting
You're
that.
way
I'm
off-
getting
you're
that.
way off track.
I'm way off track. Okay, so half of the order arrived. and the other half was delayed. And it was getting to the point where it was like a week before his birthday. And I was like emailing them, like, I think we just need to cancel the other half of this order at this point. But I knew that there were a couple of bottles in there that like I was really excited about him getting and being able to try. And I got a text one day, and it was some guy in the warehouse. And he was like, I've seen all of these emails. I'm really sorry that this is so delayed. We don't have, the holdup is Pinhook. We don't have the miniature bottle. And I was just like, oh, just send it without. Like, that's fine.
Mhm.
And he was just like, no. Pick a big bottle. Like, pick a big bottle and we'll ship it that for you. And I was like, okay. And he kind of meant with the Pinhook. So he went and took photos of all of the larger Pinhook bottles that he took. And then I went onto the internet and did some research and looked for the one that was cost the most. So, he was just like, yep, that's fine. We'll send it. The bottle's completely free. And I think it's like $75, $80 for the bottle.
Wow.
And he was like, I took care of it personally, and it arrived within a few days. He was awesome, and I wish that I could just deal with those guys all the time. He was completely separate from like the customer service lines, who was kind of like, yeah, it's coming soon. So we have this Pinhook 8 year, which I guess like someone recently said to you like, oh, it's out or something,
they
like,
didn't know it was even out yet, but
they didn't know it was even out. And I like it because it has horsies on it.
it does.
Nice.
It has a horsey.
They're named
It's
after
something for
racehorses. I know, it's something for everyone. They're named after racehorses. This one is called Bourbon War. And yeah,
I was telling them
it's
all.
neat.
About
How is it? How's it taste?
It's great.
now?
It's great.
Is it good?
It's great.
Oh,
And
good.
it's a 114 proof, so right up my alley as well.
Yeah.
stuff.
Did you also discuss the slam dunk? Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Are you going to save it?
Yeah, we'll talk about that some other time.
Okay. Stay
Those who know Maker's Mark will know what we're talking about, but we'll discuss it at another point. But this has been great. Thank you so much, ladies, again for being a part of this. No, thank you for beating us once again.
Yeah, hey, we'll be on anytime.
Anytime you want.
Anytime we win,
Anytime.
we'll be on. Yeah,
That's amazing. Four is that's pretty impressive. I think that's our shortest. We haven't gone less than 4 this season, so well done for tying our record this season. And
I think I may have to retire.
No, we do need to have you on again next season.
Let's go out on top.
No, we need you back, ladies. This has been great. Thank you so much, and thanks again to Ken Moser for the awesome topic suggestion. And I guess Jethro, I'll see you next week, and wives, whenever. Just see you around, I suppose.
I hope we'll see you guys again too.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
And also,
happy holidays, everyone.
yeah, Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Happy New
Well,
Year.
that's
New
right.
Year.
That's right. We'll talk to you again in 2024, folks.
Woo!
Love y'all.
Love you. Bye.